You now know what you want, and you know how many parties you need to do to be able to get it. You've also managed to make some adjustments if you need to, so you do know that what you're planning is realistic and possible. So what's next? Now, this is the part where we have to start talking to people. And it's the part that can be quite scary for new people because we're a bit scared of having people say no to us. So what I want to do is show you a way to be able to ask people to book and get some bookings in your diary that will reduce the fear around having people say no to you. All right, first of all, we better decide who we want to ask. And my suggestion is you just sit down with a coffee and write everybody's name down that you can think of. Now, as you write this name, just make it a brainstorming session, which means you write without judging. You don't think about whether somebody would like your products or want to be a host. You don't think about that at all. Just write their names down because then you're going to work with the list. The first thing that you'll do is you'll put a star next to the names of all the people that you believe would be actually interested to look at your products. Then you'll go through the list again and you'll put an H next to the names of the people that you think might be interested in hosting a party. They could already have a star next to their name, and some people won't get an H because you'll pretty much know your friends and you'll know the people that aren't probably going to say yes to having a party. Then you go through one last time and you put a C next to the names of the people who you think possibly could be interested in being a consultant. Now, don't judge these people. You don't know if they would be interested or not, but they might have given you some little clues. They might have said that they really hate what they do, or they're wanting some extra money, or they need to expand their social circle. There could be all sorts of things that they have said. So they're going to get a C next to their name. Okay, so now we've got the list. I want to leave the list for a while. We're going to come back to it later, but I want to talk about a couple of other things first. So there's our list, and keep that in mind. We will see it again soon. Because before you do anything, before you talk to anyone, you need to book yourself in for a mystery host night. Now this is a night where you're going to hold it yourself, and everybody that comes along will go in the draw for the host gift. And it needs to be about a week to 10 days away from when you're doing the phone calling. Now this mystery host night will just be a party, and it's going to be the catchment for the people that say no, they don't want to host a party. So I'll show you how to work with that in a minute. Before we get back to the list, we'll just talk a little bit about what you could say on the calls. And I'm going to share with you, it's a script basically, but I need to put a small disclaimer in there that I really don't think that you should call people and use a script when you call people. And the reason for that is that they know that you're reading it. You don't sound natural. So I'm only sharing this with you so you can get an idea for the sorts of things that you could say. So when you make the calls, make sure that you don't waffle. Just get to the point. There's really nothing worse than people calling and talking for half an hour about the weather before they actually tell you what they're calling about. So here's an idea for something you can say if you're a new consultant. Something along the lines of, I'm not sure if you know about the business I'm involved in. It's called Bella Beauty. Have you heard of it? Now, Bella Beauty doesn't exist. I just made that up. And you might need to give a quick explanation, but only very quick. Don't go into a big long spiel about it. Now, I'm brand new at this and I'm really excited. I know that you like this sort of thing, so I thought I'd see if you could help me out. I'm trying to organise my starter parties and I'm offering some special gifts for anyone that's able to help. I wondered if you might be interested in having one. I need 8 and I was really hoping you would be my first. Now, it's actually quite difficult to say no to that, but the great thing is that if somebody does say no, all you're going to say is, well, look, I'm having a mystery host night next Thursday. If you aren't able to have one, would you come to one? You could come to that, and you'll be in the you'll go in the draw for the host gift. And people aren't likely to say no to that one. So once somebody says yes, then your next call will be, I've already got one. Would you be my second? And so on. Now, if you're not so new, here's a slightly different way of doing it. It's actually exactly the same. I've only changed a small little part in it. So the first part's the same, and I've just changed one part in the middle there. I'm trying to break my record for number of parties held in a month. And then later on, I need 8, and I was really hoping you'd be my first. So you could actually replace that sentence with, I'm trying to qualify for a free trip to Hawaii or anything like that. And what I found when I used this is that people actually really like to be part of something. and they like to be part of your success, anybody's success, even if it's not their own. So if you do use this tag, then make sure that if you do achieve the goal that you're going for, your 8 parties or whatever it is that you're trying to do, make sure that afterwards you send them all a card and a thank you. You might even send them a little gift. It's going to be good for customer relations in the future as well. Okay, so now that we know a bit about what to say, we can start making the calls. So we'll go back to the list now. Now what you do with the list is that we start off by calling the people that only have a star next to their name. And the reason that we do this is that we're pretty sure they're actually going to say no anyway. So we're not going to get a surprise. And actually what we're doing is we're practicing on them. So it means that when we get to the people that we actually think might have a party, we know exactly what we want to say, and we're feeling quite comfortable with it. So we're not going to say feel surprised or rejected if these people say no. But what we will say is, well, if you're not able to have one, that's fine. But would you be interested in coming to one? Because I'm having a mystery host night next Thursday, and it'll count as one of my 8. Everyone who comes will be in the draw for the host gift. Okay, so people find it quite difficult to say no to that, and actually the reason they've said no to hosting a party in the first place is probably just because they don't really know what it's about. They're thinking, oh, I don't know what the products are, I don't know what a party's like, but they might come to one, especially if they might win the free gift, and once they see how fun it is and that they really like it, the chances are they'll probably book one from there anyway. Now once you've finished all the people with stars, then you go to the people that have got H's next to their name. Now you think that they're going to say yes, and you're pretty sure about that, but of course there's a chance that they won't. Now when they say, if somebody on the H list says no, actually it's not even going to matter because you're used to it by now anyway, and you already know what to say, which is you're going to invite them to the mystery host night. Now I used to do this reasonably often. Whenever my bookings were low, I'd actually go through this whole process. I'd be gathering people's names all the time, and I'd sit down and I'd go through this quite often. People always like the mystery host nights. Now with the people that have a C next to their name, we're going to ask them slightly differently. We're not going to use the same script because we're not going to ask them to host a party. We're only going to invite them to the mystery host night. So you could just say something to them along the lines of, look, I don't know if what I'm doing would interest you at all, but you did mention a while ago that you were looking for something else to do, and I'm really loving what I'm doing, so why not come along? If it looks interesting to you, you can ask me about it, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't matter at all. It'll be a fun night out, and you'll be in the draw for the host gift. Okay, so there we have the whole list done, and you haven't even called anybody yet, and you already have a booking because you've booked yourself.